Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and I have an unusual name, Coole. Hi.
Yes.
I've never heard a name Coole, and hi.
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 At the moment, well, that's up for debate.
Up to debate. Okay. And obviously, this is Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon. I'm your host. I'm whatever I am. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing.
You seem to be very happy today.
Well, I'm happy
what's going on?
Generally most days.
You are?
Yeah.
Now, the reason being he's in the music business. Now, the music business has not been too good, but at the same time, just because people, whether they're in their homes, their cars, it doesn't matter where they are, they're still going to listen to music.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that us musicians or music makers appreciate is the fact that most people can't do what we do, but they appreciate what we do. So that's kind of what the full circle is.
We all need music.
Yeah.
I mean, last night I was on the computer. Mm-hmm. Well, what am I doing? I've got music in my background on my computer, so I can do all this other crazy stuff. But then I can also have my music on, whatever music it may be at that time. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
But it keeps the music. So when you talk about the pandemic and you talk about everything going on and what's happening, it has affected people like you, right? Because
to some degree, yes, it has.
But did it open up other avenues for you, though?
Yes, it has.
You see?
Well, you know, I'm a person that's always innovating ideas and that sort of thing. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and we're
I love New York.
A place where we hustle a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
you have to.
Yeah,
to survive.
that's how you survive, and eventually you live.
Yes.
Right. And so, for me, the pandemic just meant that I had to turn my shows into live streams, like most musicians started to do.
Yes.
And then what I decided to do was do live part time, right? And with that, I decided to play my music in the car. What happened is people Shazam the music in the car, and it thus got me a lot of streams, even doing that. And I was able to intimately connect with people and create fans, like actual fans who genuinely like the music in the car. So, you know, I turned it into something.
What made your music so different? So why is your music?
Well, my music, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, at a time when hip hop was just starting to begin, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of my influence was that, as well as my father. He played the saxophone. So my early days of hearing him playing the saxophone, jazz,
so
improv,
you were brought up in the music business.
So I was brought up in that realm, but I never took it seriously, right? Because it was easy for me. I started playing piano when I was 4.
Okay.
And so I never really took it seriously. I could rap.
It was automatic. You just
it was just something that I loved to do and that sort of thing. But when I went to college, right, I still made music, and I did an easy piano course in high school, got an easy A, decided to start working in the studio based off of a request from a musician teacher that was in the school. And so I was one of 5 students to run the school's music studio.
And you loved it?
For 2 years. Yeah, for 2 years.
And you probably could do it very well because you knew the music since you were 4 years old. I mean, you know, so you know all the aspects of it. Has anything changed since then to now?
Well, I mean, a lot of it is now digital, or in the box, what a lot of people say now. Meaning that you don't need to use a lot of hardware like outboard equipment, like the knobs and the mixers and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff has been like,
they have these great big
a lot of it is minimalized to computers and laptops. A lot of people are making hit records with laptops and a small little keyboard. Yeah, and programming all the sounds in their laptops.
There's two trains of thought on that, and that is that you've got a lot of competition going on.
Yeah, it is.
But then at the same time, you're giving these people that can't afford or couldn't do it a place that they can now do it.
Right, which is kind of what saturates the industry to a great degree. And it's a big, how can I say, it's a dichotomy in the music industry.
Absolutely.
With whether or not everybody's entitled to having all of this equipment.
Yes.
The answer from the industry is yes, because the corporations have to make their money. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer, and a good friend of mine, his name is Daryl Jones, he's a drummer for Jack White. He and I were talking at an interview one time on one of the radio shows that I was doing in New York.
Okay.
And he said the cream always rises to the top.
Always. No
matter what you do. And he's a skilled drummer, but he doesn't profess that.
And you're absolutely right. Whoever, whatever, doesn't make any difference. There is no competition like competition.
Exactly. And nobody does what I do the way that I do it.
Well, nobody will ever do it. They can copy you 100 million times.
Right.
It'll never work.
Absolutely.
Because you are who you are. And it's funny how everybody likes to sort of do this and do that. And I say, well, you're still who you are. You still do what you do. Yeah. And then you might have a different voice, but then you also have a different way of putting it together.
Exactly.
So there really isn't. It's just a matter of So it's a matter of you have to rely on yourself to get what you want.
And you know,
is that the message?
Yeah, that's pretty dead on actually. A lot of my approach in the day is basically just gratitude and gratefulness of what I have. I mean, I've had these hands and my feet since I was born, and it made me a lot of money. The brain in my head to tell me that I have hands and feet, and the fact that I can breathe on my own. Now I have the biggest gift of life, and now I have a bonus of making a choice of what I do during the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
And so I even approach making music that way.
Yes.
I understand the power of sound.
So
and what
is
sound
this
can
where
do
you
for
get
people.
your ideas from? And
Just life.
Sound.
Just life.
Okay, sound.
Just life. And sound vibrates.
So the
people,
way you do life is different to the way somebody else will do life. So therefore, your music will be different to somebody else's totally.
That's kind of how it happens.
And I think this is a great example of what you're talking about for the younger generation out there, or for anybody in the music industry. That you go, well, they do what I do, and I do what they do, but it's not, because it's from a different person.
Right.
It's a different presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all present something a little different. I mean, I'm quite sure I do, compared to how you would present music and I would present music, since I know more than average about music, but I don't know what you know.
Right.
What is the younger generation gravitating to right now? What are they going after? Because they lead the music.
Well, a lot of the younger generation are leaning towards more of the modern synthy sounds.
What's that?
Synthesizers,
like
the synthesizers, like from the 80s and whatnot.
Yes.
There's a lot of those sounds that are actually coming back into modern, existence again, and I'm really grateful for that.
Sure. Is that your forte?
Well, I mean, I use a plethora of different sounds. My sound is a mixture of neo, jazz, funk, hip hop. So that's
you mix
what
it all up together.
It's I mix classical piano sounds with new wave,
with jazz and all this stuff. Everybody,
and I think that's why people like it, because it's eclectic enough for them to not realize exactly what they listen to, but they love.
But then
the way
they suddenly hear a sound of the classical. Well, that's a piece of classical music there.
Yeah.
And then you get the older generation who quite like it.
Yeah.
So it goes on. So now you live in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay, and how's it doing for you now? We're getting back to the swing.
I think for where I'm at in my life, I like Vegas because it's doing wonders for my hair with the lack of humidity. Also the
have a sense of humor. You have one.
A little tiny sense. But yeah, I like the real estate opportunities out here as well.
Oh, you do real estate as well?
Well, I'm looking at buying property, so.
Okay.
And it's really, really a good market out here. As far as going into the end of the year, I think it's going to be better. So I'm waiting to pull the plug on that one.
So you think that as the prices are going to come down a little bit to buy?
Yeah.
I think I would agree with you, and I think the reason being is because I think we've been building a lot in Vegas,
right.
And I think that building is going to slowly go down. It's going to decrease in the summer anyway, because they don't build as much in the summer here because it gets so hot.
Absolutely.
But I think you're right about the prices. I think people have kind of found that sort of happy even place of I'm not going to move, because we had everybody moving everywhere.
We had a lot of shifting going around.
What was going on? Everybody sort of.
Well, I mean, with the pandemic and slowed down people's finances, a lot of people's jobs were tied into the hotel and management industry,
especially Vegas.
And so they lost a lot of value in their homes. They decided to sell, and it was a seller's market for a long time, and it's still kind of.
They needed the money. To survive. So rentals went up.
Yeah, rentals went up and everything. Yeah.
So I think investing yourself, I think that would be.
Oh
brilliant.
yeah. And then on top of that, Vegas is still it's a completely unique city from any other city that I've been to.
Yeah, it is. It's very
I can't even compare it to New York, which a lot of people ask me that. How you like New York better? No, it's
you can't. It's totally. Vegas is completely different, and I'm from England, and I've lived in Beirut, and I've lived in Jamaica, and I've lived everywhere, all over a lot of places all over the world. Vegas is unique. There is no place in the world like Vegas.
Absolutely. And so the business factor here, the wow factor, is still very prevalent here.
Yes.
You can't set up a business with a proper marketing strategy like in New York or in LA. Yeah. But in Vegas, you can do it, and you can actually thrive for at least a few years before it starts to fizzle. But Vegas is that kind of city, and where I'm at in my life, I think I like it. I can get the busyness when I want and leave it alone and go back to the suburbs.
And go back to what? Now, what do you think about with all the hotels are opening now, because obviously COVID is over? regardless how they want to say, we've got to do this, and we've got to wear 3 masks now instead of 1 mask and 2 masks. Now we have to wear 3 masks. I don't know. And then they say, you've got to wear masks, you've got to do this, and then they say, you don't have to wear a mask, you do have to wear a mask. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Put on a helmet,
But we need a crash helmet in case you bump into somebody and you're that close. I don't know.
Bubble wrap on your elbows and your knees.
I don't know what it's all about. But getting back to the hotels and everything opening, is this now opening up for people to perform? Is that starting yet? Or is that's rather slow.
Well, the bigger venues I'm not really gearing towards. I'm looking at the smaller venues, more like the lounges and places like that. And they seem to more be gravitating towards opening sooner.
Yes,
to
absolutely.
Performances again. So I'm going to basically keep my ear to
Do you think the hotels are going to stop the big shows?
I think they're going to start again. They announced June 1st. They're going to be doing some of the bigger shows.
The bigger shows.
I think they're going to be trickling them in slowly, but they're going to get them back into real form.
Now, when they do that, are you going to be performing? You have your band. You have everything.
Well, I'm a one-man band, so again,
you've obviously got it together.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much ready to go. As soon as I see the openings for some of the lounges, and because I'm more of a lounge performer at this point, I don't perform for the thousands that I used to rap in front of. My performance basically consists of my bass, my electric guitar, and my keyboard.
And that's all electronic?
Yeah, and I have electronic equipment basically, and I make the music live on stage.
And all they do is they go around, switch this button, switch that button, switch this button. Because that's how it is now.
Well, almost, but I actually play my instruments.
Oh, you play?
Yes.
So you play the drums?
I play the parts, I build the drums, I build the keys, the bass lines.
Well,
the
how can you do it all at one time?
Oh, you'd have to see my performance.
Well, obviously. His feet are going, his hands are going, and his mouth is going.
Well, I'm building it in parts, but it's a nice progression of a song, and you're actually just vibing out to the
And you vibe into it, and you enjoy it, and you think, how did one man do all that? That's the experience that I provide. I think that's something different. Mm-hmm. You're going to do something. Rap a little for me.
A little bit, maybe.
Go on.
Maybe.
Give me something. Come on.
Well, let's see. I'm chilling here in the studio with Ninon. What is on? What is on? The lights and the cameras. Check it. One time I hit you with the stamina. Coole high, rocking the beats and rocking the rhymes. Freestyle right up off the top of my mind. Welcome to the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Chilling here with this lovely young lady. What do I want to say? These times are treacherous at moments, but sometimes you got to rise above and come out with the peace and love.
There you are, and this is what this is, peace and love. We didn't stop. You're still going forward. We've been doing this since June, so we haven't really stopped. We've been keep going and going and going, because that's what life is.
Absolutely.
I think life is what you want to make it. So you go out there and have a good time. Look, do whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. That's my philosophy.
Yes. As long as you're not hurting anybody else with it.
No, don't hurt anybody, help them. How can anybody reach you?
They can reach me online at CooleHighMusic.com. That's COOLE highmusic.com. And you can find all of my social media contacts there, as well as just going directly to the social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, I'm there.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Now I'm going to certainly ask Coole, you've got to make sure that you share this.
Yes.
Because I'm getting on the heels of everybody who comes on my show. They've now got to start sharing it. I don't want to see in one little corner shared 3 times. And that shared 3 times is probably what I've put out there. So I just want to see these shared, because the more you put it out there, and we are dealing in society with the sort of the internet. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it is.
I mean, it's a free resource that
it's
we
free.
Haven't tapped into the fullest capacity just yet. So,
I mean, maybe I think I'm going to start charging for my guests to come on my show. I probably won't get any because they're not going
to promote.
Well, if they're not going to promote, then pay me and I'll promote it for you.
For sure.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I can promote it for you, but I don't see that happening because they're not making any money either. So we're here to help you anyway. But I just want you to promote it and to push it out there. And the more you get it out there, the better it is. One more thing before I go. Don't forget, this is the Carpenters tribute concert. Quirky Minds Media presents this, and actually the Carpenters have got residency begins at Stoney's in Town Square, Las Vegas. It starts May the 11th, and I do believe May the 11th is today.
Yeah.
So they're going to start their first show today. They're going to be there Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which is fabulous. And it's only $15 to $29 plus $6, whatever that is, some kind of fee. But they're starting their residency there. This show is very, very unique. It's absolutely fabulous. They're both amazing. Sally Olsen is, she really is the carpenter. She is amazing. Of course, you know. And then you've got Ned Miles, and he's absolutely amazing as well. So don't forget to go on down to Stoney's in Town Square. Starts at 7 p.m., so 6:30. Nice to have a little something to eat. You can eat there, you can drink there, you can have the whole thing.
There it is.
And for you, Coole, he's amazing. He's wonderful. And you've got a phone number. Well, I know he's cool.
Well, yeah. Phone number, you can reach me for business at 347-871-8077. I provide audio production, songwriting, mixing and mastering as well, and I engineer as well.
I was going to say, so you can help somebody out there get themselves out there.
Yeah.
I love that. Well. I love that. So you can help them get their act together.
I don't just record myself. No. You know, I record other people's
people's music and other people's stuff.
Put their view and their ideas out there and stuff like that.
Because people are always looking for people like that are honest and they're going to get what they paid for. You know, and I think that they will get that with you, Coole.
And I recommend people just to check me out online before you decide to call me, because a lot of times people call immediately without checking out the repertoire or, the
check you out. Yeah, we don't mind being checked out.
I may make something that you're not totally into, so it's like, well, just do your homework, basically.
Yeah, and it's quite funny because, everybody says, checking you out. I said, listen, go ahead, just check me out. Put my name, Ninon de Rosa, into Google. I don't care. It'll all be there, and I'm not going to stop you, but why don't you do it and check out who I am?
Yeah.
Who cares? I am what I am, and maybe somebody's put something, who knows? Anyway, thank you. Coole, has been amazing. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon, and go to our YouTube, of course, and subscribe, and we will see you. We'll be back next week. Take care. Have a wonderful week, and thank you, everybody, for supporting Vegas Live with Ninon. Take care. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up, and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.